Oh yeah, folks, how y'all doing? I'm just chilling here in the studio. I'm just laid back, got my mind on my money, got my money on my mind. Been messing around in the studio. And what I have, not seduced, deduced, what I have deduced, in other words, figured out so far. I don't know nothing about audio, I don't know nothing about lighting, soundproofing a room. Like I was in that smaller room and it was better acoustics than this big room. Now that's obvious, right? This thing's got high ceilings. Sounds like I'm broadcasting from a cave. Damn tunnel. Hey, whatever. You know what I got? Got a nice cold air conditioner up there, keeping me and the equipment cool, so I don't gotta worry about nothing overheating. Anyhow, enough of the camera / talk, studio talk. What I'm going to talk about today is a couple incidents that have happened over the past, well, they happened about a week apart, over the past 2 weeks. A couple friends of mine, one, Captain Ron. Captain Ron almost got robbed walking home from the bars about, I don't know, 2 in the morning, somewhere around there. I'll have to ask him again the exact time, but and then another happened within the past week. But he had a burglar / how do you classify that? I call him Spider-Man. I got a creeper. You know, when you're home and a dude sneaks in your home and steals some shit and rolls out. That's what happened to him. You call it a burglar, but hell, you're home. So what would be classified in the States? What? Home invasion? Now, things are a lot different over here. You know, there's more violence in the U.S. Let's all agree on that. You know, in the U.S., you're sitting there in your living room and 4 or 5 dudes come in with gats and put a gun to your head. There's a lot more violence, and I'm not saying that it's not safe to come to the Philippines or Southeast Asia. I'm not saying that, all right? The most dangerous country is the U.S. because everybody's got guns and everybody's crazy and out of their fucking minds, okay? But I want to talk about these couple incidents and talk about how they went down, you know, how crimes are a little bit different over here. They're not as violent typically. So anyhow, without going off on that tangent, let's talk about what happened to Captain Ron. He was walking home from the bars from Walking Street, you know, 2 in the morning. And folks, don't do as me and Captain Ron do, okay? We like to walk. We like to see the sights, especially if it's 2, 3 in the morning. We enjoy the cool night air. But that is not smart. We do it, but hey, we're younger dudes. We're in shape. We can run. Especially if you're older, you have some type of disability, you're heavy set where you can't run. Don't do this. Just take a trike home. And matter of fact, no matter who you are, if you're out partying, you're out drinking, take a trike home, take a taxi home. Don't walk home to your hotel when you're in these tourist areas, because, you know, after midnight, that's when the crooks come out, because they know anybody on the streets is either drunk or half drunk, or they have been drinking, and you make an easy target for these idiots, right? They don't even got to get up to go to work until midnight. Their work day is like midnight to 3:30. Because why? Everybody in the bar area is drunk. It's just easy pickings because you're not there with all your wit. So with that disclaimer out of the way, the other day, Captain Ron's walking back. He left Walking Street. Now you can say they marked him at Walking Street and followed him, up in the direction, up Fields Avenue, and he's going in the direction from Walking Street toward Koreatown, right? Toward the VFW, toward all the action, you know, away from the McDonald's end of Walking Street, if you're not familiar. Now, they either A, marked them somewhere down there and said, hey, there's a drunk walking, let's follow him, or maybe they just happened by him. But he's up there in the vicinity of the Petron station. He keeps on trucking, and he has three shithead males on an old piece of shit motorbike, no headlight, no tag, no registration, pull up beside him and say, hey, what time is it? Now, that's sort of ingenious in itself, because most of the time these idiots will just come up behind you, snatch your stuff, and run when you're not looking. But the fact that these idiots came up and used some sort of strategy, I'm actually fucking impressed. Because usually they have no strategy, right? They're just out looking for a drunk walking, talking on his phone, what have you. They're going to ride by 2-3 shitheads on a motorbike, snatch your phone, and keep riding. Usually they don't even get off the motorbike, right? So they come up to Captain Ron, and he's got his phone in one hand, and they come up and they say, hey, what time is it? Now, you know, Captain Ron's that night was not drinking. So he's at full wit, you know, transfers his phone over to the other hand and says, I don't know, my battery's dead, keeps walking. So that's genius in itself that they said, what time is it? Because if you're not thinking, you're going to look at your phone, you know, just instinctive, you know, us old generation, you look at your phone, and then now they know where to grab your phone. Or you flip over the old watch, and now they know where to grab your watch. So they're going to get your watch or your phone. Now let's just think about that. Nobody these days asks nobody about what time it is. Okay? In the West, everybody's got a damn iPhone or a smartphone or something, right? Nobody should ever ask you anymore what time it is. Over here, believe it or not, there's some people who don't have cell phones or their phone's junk or what have you. But if there's 3 shitheads on a motorbike, they don't give a damn what time it is, folks. They don't have a job. They have nowhere to be. If anybody in Southeast Asia asks you what time is it, you better be ready to I don't want to get this video banned. I'm not encouraging any violence or anything like that. But if somebody in the middle of the night asks you, hey, what time is it? You're probably about to get your phone snatched. I think YouTube is cool with that, right? In other words, you need to be on the alert. Why would 3 shitheads on a motorbike ask you for the time? All they're trying to do is get you to show your phone or show your watch, and they're going to snatch it and ride off. Okay? So anyhow, what happens? He tells them, you know, I don't know, my phone's dead. Keeps walking. He gets up there. Well, as he's walking, they pass him. They cut a left on Mount Mayan Street, you know, up there in the bar area. And one shithead gets off and approaches him and says, hey, what time is it? Now, at that point, Captain Ron flew redneck on him. Now, if you don't know what flying redneck or I don't know how else to describe it, he fucking went ballistic on him and said something basically, you know, said, told you, I don't got the time or something. And just went ballistic and went on the offensive and just went aggressive like a crazed fucking grizzly bear that just, you know, kill fucking 3 campers. It scared him, all right? Now, Captain Ron's a tall dude. He's, you know, for over here, he's younger. He's in shape and intimidated him and scared the shit out of him. So the dude goes back to the motorbike and they haul ass, right? Now, typically over here, if you're one-on-one with a shithead on the street, they're not going to go toe-to-toe with you. In my experience, it's not going to happen. If they have 2, 3, 4, or 5, it might be a different story. But in that situation, when they're rolling 3, if you were an easy target, that may have broke down differently. Typically not. Typically it's just non-violent. They just want to snatch your stuff and go. But the fact that one of them got off and they went toe-to-toe with Captain Ron, that dude wasn't going to win. And the psychological impact of him basically telling them to go get fucked, they were out of there. So that's how that went down. But say, take it back, what if Captain Ron was drinking? All right. What if he's a little bit older, a little bit slower, a little bit out of shape? They may have looked at him as a different target. It may have got physical. Who knows? Typically, it doesn't over here. Typically, it doesn't come to a gun going to your temple like in America and going that route. They just want your watch. They want your cell phone. They want your wallet, whatever. And you just get snatched. It's just a surprise attack. They're off with it. And I'm not saying in every case, but typically that's what happens. I did a video a few months ago where my buddy's wife was riding her little 3-wheel electric trike in the same vicinity up there, in the vicinity of the Petron. Now the Petron ain't got nothing to do with it, but there's some dark areas before it. And it's just in that area. And two shitheads on a piece of shit motorbike roll up behind her and snatch her little bag. She didn't even see them coming. And she screams and they start laughing at her because she screamed. They took her bag with all her documents and stuff. Again, not non-violent. There's no weapons. There's no knives, no guns displayed. Just a snatch and roll. So that's what happened to Captain Ron. And I know there's been some stories, tourists and expats, whatever, getting their phones snatched in the past few months. And then again, I guess less than 2 weeks ago, a gentleman was coming out of a bar in that same area up there, been drinking, got his phone in his hand, trying to see what his texts are. Because a lot of times you go in these bars around here, there's no signal. So the minute you walk out the door, you haven't had any cell service in an hour or what have you. First thing you do is check in your phone, see if your girlfriend or your wife's on your ass. And so you walk out the door, you've been drinking, checking your phone. Some guy snatched it and took off running. I think it was another American guy that lives here. So these incidents are going on, but they go on anywhere in the world. You know, there's a criminal element everywhere. Is it bad here? Well, not when you compare it to the crime in the States or the pickpockets in Europe. I think it's a real low level here compared to these other places, right? So that's what happened. If anybody asks you what time it is in Southeast Asia in English, be on the alert. Especially at night, 3 dudes on a piece of shit motorbike with no headlight. Now I could talk about the signs, who to look for, what to look for on a motorbike. But that'd take me a whole nother video. But it doesn't take rocket science. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that if it's late at night, 3 dudes roll up next to you on a motorbike with the headlight out, it's not good. You need to get away from them. You need to take some action, put distance in between those 3 shitheads, and hopefully they just go away and pick another target. Moving right along. This is more serious. I did a video about this before. What's typical here in the Philippines or Southeast Asia, again, they don't want to confront you. They don't want to have any violence go down, put a gun to your head. They certainly don't want to get into a fight with you. And I'm talking about these creepers that come in your house while you're sleeping and root through your shit, and you wake up and you find out you've been robbed. You've been burglarized. However you want to categorize it. So about a week ago, I guess right at a week ago, a friend of mine comes home about 3 a.m., out drinking, tools around for a little bit, they go to bed, he wakes up, where's my phone? On his nightstand. The phone is gone, looks up, his bedroom window, a sliding window is open, And then at that point he realized, oh man, looks for his wallet's gone out of the nightstand, goes into the kitchen, his wallet's on the kitchen table, all the money's gone, but at least this shithead left all his IDs and stuff. I'd like to thank that dirtbag shithead for at least leaving all the ID cards. If you see what I mean, right? It could have been a lot worse. He could have just pocketed the wallet. Now he's spending weeks trying to get all his ID information back. Ended up taking a bunch of phones, a laptop, just stuff he could carry on his person. And he's gone. So they never knew he was there. Here's the scary part. When you go watch the CCTV, okay, this dude climbed over the front wall. This is a very nice neighborhood. I'm not going to do details in case the popo is onto this guy. I don't want to hink him up too much. But in the same sense, this needs to be put out there because it's basically a serial burglar / creeper running around this area. The way he got in, he came over the front wall, which is a pretty high wall, but there was no concertina wire over the wall. Again, it's a nice neighborhood. If there were concertina wire, he probably wouldn't have made it because all he did was just take a run and jump, grab the wall, climb over the wall. When he got into the compound, this dude spent about 45 minutes inside going back and forth looking in windows, and what he was doing apparently is waiting for everybody to go to sleep. He doesn't want a confrontation. He wants everybody to go to sleep, climbs in through the bedroom window, grabs the cell phone, the wallet right next to where the man's sleeping, right next to his head. Never even knew it. Guy's quiet, then goes out, picks up the laptop, some more phones, and then eventually exits the house. The window was unlocked, so he didn't have to break the window, anything like that. He went around until he found an opening. Again, he doesn't want a confrontation. They just want your shit and to go. Looking at the CCTV, this guy initially tried to get over or took a peek over a wall, the neighbor, and that guy actually was the popo. For whatever reason, he decided against that. He went down the street, took another look, and then for whatever reason, picked my buddy's spot. It was just a nice, easy wall to get over, and he got clipped. Now, apparently, this dude's known to the popo around here. He's done it before, and that's pretty much his MO. It's a late night hit. He's in and out. People don't know it. I got a name for. We had some similar incidents a long time ago, but anyhow, I nicknamed the dude Spider-Man. We had the same shit, Spider-Man over in Thailand. You didn't even know you were hit until you went up and started looking for something and you couldn't find your stuff. You're like, what the hell? Where is that? And you figure out later on you and 5 of the neighbors have gotten hit by this guy. So that's the scary part. Again, I did a video before talking about these expats over in Beloit Beach that have got hit like that, and some of them actually, now they're older gentlemen, got to look at it from their perspective. I don't agree, and this would not be my course of action, but these old guys over in Beloit actually woke up while the guy is, rooting through their wallet next to their bed, and they were scared, and their course of action was to just close their eyes and pretend like they didn't hear him. Let the guy take their shit, get out, and then they woke up and called the police. From their perspective, it's like, hey, I'm old. What am I going to do? Fight the guy. Maybe he kills me. So they didn't take any action. Now, again, that's not the course of action I would take because I'm not going to play dead. I'm going to go down swinging, but that's just my personality. If I'm 90 years old, I don't know, maybe it would change, but I'm a redneck at heart, and I'm not going to sit there and let some son of a bitch go through my wallet without a fight. But that's not everybody's opinion. Everybody, it's your life, it's your family, it's your castle. Yeah, you make the decisions about what you would do if you wake up and there's a guy right next to you, going through your wallet in your nightstand. So anyhow, I'll try to put links down to those other videos too. But the commonality is these burglars and these shitheads who are doing this, they don't want confrontation most of the time. They don't want to do violence to you. but you don't know what their reaction is going to be if you wake up and sit up and you're face to face with this guy. Is he going to bolt and run? Is he going to pull a knife? Is he going to, who knows? The point is, you don't want these assholes in your place in the first place. That's obvious, right? So on a lot of these, it just boils down to making sure all of the doors and windows are locked. A lot of these stories, they didn't have to break anything. They didn't have to pick anything. It was easy to get into their compound, over a wall or what have you, because there was no concertina wire, no razor wire, no dog. And so they're in easily, and they just go around checking windows and find one that they can open up. Again, because if they break it or break the glass, they're going to wake people up. That's not the objective. So simplicity, common sense, make sure all your stuff is locked. Now that's easier said than done here, because living with my old lady who grew up in a village for 20 years of her life in a bamboo shack, it doesn't have locks. It doesn't have windows. Nobody locks anything. There is no concept of locking stuff up. So for 20 years of your life, you never carried a key. You're not worried about somebody breaking into your place because everybody in the village is your relative. I still, after 5 years, I have to physically check everything, because if I ask her, hey, did you check those windows back there? Oh yeah, they're locked. 9 times out of 10, they're not. And I'm not blaming her, because if I was, grew up for 20 years in that same environment, then it wouldn't be a priority for me either. But after 5 years of harping on, hey, make sure the door's locked, make sure, most of the time, she's doing a lot better, but I still check 100%. And if I'm not here, I'm on the phone harping, or I'm on video, go to that room, show me. Because something is that simple would possibly cause these idiots to go to the next house and just find an open window so they can be quiet. Obviously, a big-ass dog is going to deter them from coming in, because there's so many places they can pick that they don't have to deal with these obstacles. So there you go. So those incidents have happened over the past couple weeks, but this dude who hit my buddy's place, the cops said, hey, we know who this guy is. They had him all over CCTV. They know who he is. He's hit other places, so they're on the job. Eventually, hopefully they'll catch the dude. I'm not going to put the CCTV right now and make this dude famous, but if they haven't caught him in 2 or 3 months, I will. But I don't want to hink up what they got going on. But at the same time, I think the information has to go out there. Because if it didn't happen to a friend of mine, I wouldn't know about it. I wouldn't have heard about it. I'm not on Facebook or these expat groups and all this crap. I wouldn't be aware. So I'm making you aware that if you live in Angeles City, anywhere, let's just say from around the Friendship area, okay, anywhere in that area, there's a serial creeper on the loose. Multiple places he's hit, according to the Popo, and he hit my buddy's place. So hopefully they catch him. If not, in a couple months, we'll post all that footage. It's not great, and the dude's wearing, fucking Fauci shit on his face, whatever. But somebody knows who the guy is. Somebody knows. Every time he hits a place, he's getting cell phones. So whoever he's dealing with to get these cell phones sold, somebody knows. Whether or not they're gonna come forward without, there ain't nobody coming forward without a reward. Let's just say it. But anyhow, give the Popo a chance to do their job. If not, maybe in a couple months we'll start offering a reward and putting some video out there of this idiot. So that's what I wanted to put out there, folks. Anywhere in the world there's a criminal element. I'm not saying it's dangerous here. It's not. It's not. In America, I won't go anywhere unless I'm strapped. In other words, I'm packing heat. Glock 22 strapped on my side with a couple extra mags on the other side. That's America. Here, a decade of living in Southeast Asia, I don't feel the need to go buy weapons. I don't need to walk around armed with a gun, a knife. I don't carry anything. For a decade, I haven't had to carry a weapon. Prior to moving to Southeast Asia, pretty much my entire life in America, I was armed with something, even from an early age. So it's a different dynamic. Here, you just be smart. You be smart. If you go out drinking, don't walk home. If you're sitting there in a little sidewalk cafe or bar, don't put your $1,000 cell phone right there where somebody can grab it and run. Again, it's not going to hurt you, but you're going to be out $1,000. Okay? If you go out bar hopping, don't carry your damn wallet. All you old gentlemen, you old timers, I know you're used to carrying that big old leather wallet you've carried since 1976. You still got your military ID in there from Vietnam. You don't need to carry all that shit around. And you got it in your back pocket. You can't even sit straight in the damn booth when you're trying to have a drink because you're sitting over there like this. Don't carry that. There's no reason. When you go out drinking, cash and an old burner cell phone, a talk and text cell phone for $10. But dudes here, I see it every day. Every time I go out, people pulling out these big old wallets. Like, why are you doing that? You're just asking for trouble. Who cares about the money? But imagine when you get these documents stolen, how long it takes you to get them replaced. Passport, okay, go down to the embassy. You're going to spend a trip or two down to Manila getting that done. But what about all your shit from the States? You're carrying around your goddamn Tennessee driver's license. You don't need that here, big pimpin'. When you go to Walking Street, there's no reason for you to carry your driver's license from the States. Common sense. But nobody listens. Everybody knows everything, and it'll never happen to me, right? Well, it just happened to a couple of good buddies of mine. One got out of his situation, the other one didn't, but didn't even know it was happening. So, folks, that's what I got to say. Sort of a public service message / reminder just to tighten up your security plan. I mean, no matter where you're at in the world, you shouldn't be lackadaisical. But there is a Spider-Man / creeper, stealth burglar / home invader on the loose that apparently is going to work at least once a week, it sounds like. I don't know that for a fact, but that's what I sort of deduced. It wasn't like, hey, we've never seen this guy. Apparently the cops, they know this guy, they know of him. I don't know exactly what they know about him, but it's the same dude who has hit and been seen on CCTV and other incidents of the same nature. There we go. Folks, there'll be more information in the comments, I'm sure, than you just got from me. I just figured I'd put it out there and put it fresh in your mind. Check your security plan. Tighten up whatever you got. Make sure the windows, doors are locked, because you don't want to wake up and be face to face with fucking Spider-Man, alright? Either way, it's just not good, right? Either way, that outcome is not going to be good if you wake up and you're face to face with Spider-Man. Okay. Hey, if you're not a subscriber here on my channel, bottom right hand corner of your screen, hit that overstay road sign. Get on board my train. I certainly appreciate it. I hope the audio is okay. I know there's an echo in here. It's not the ideal studio unless I put some soundproofing on the walls. Got it. Tracking. I'm actually thinking about just setting everything up out by the barbecue grill, because the audio, there's no echo, but you will hear dogs barking, birds chirping, roosters crowing, rabbits digging, tricycles making all that noise. men singing vidjoki to Celine Dion. You'll hear all that noise, but that's the Philippines. But maybe that's better than the echo in this big old room here. Appreciate y'all watching. I'll see you guys on the next one, and peace out, my friends. Stay vigilant.